with our chapter on communication in our human relations course. The topic currently for this video is to demonstrate how we use movement, or how we can use movement to increase the effectiveness of our presentations. Using movement to increase the effectiveness of your presentation. So if you have a job, or if you're in school, at some point you will be called upon to make a presentation, whether that is for a team presentation, for a project in school, whether that is a presentation internally for your company, maybe it is for some customers externally or some other stakeholders. Or if you work for government, it might be a presentation to the community about something. Most of us at some point will be giving presentations. And so the question is, how do we use our bodies to show movement and to use movement in these presentations to be more effective? And so when you think about what kind of advice you have been getting on presentations and how to deliver a presentation, that advice might sound something like, well, keep your hands to your sides or cross your hands in front of you, just hold your hands together, stand still, don't move too much, etc. And all of that advice was surely meant to be helpful. But the truth of the matter is that the advice on how we move and use movement in presentations is different for everyone, because the most important thing is that you are comfortable and that you move naturally, because people want to see an authentic speaker that they can connect with and relate to. So being natural and authentic and being comfortable is useful. So doing things such as using facial expression, using gestures, moving your body across the stage if you're up on a stage, etc. Within your comfort zone, those are the things that will make you more effective in your presentation. So here we are discussing how we're using public speaking as a form of communication. So on this slide that you see here, we have a figure from the textbook, and it's called the speaker's triangle. And the idea behind the speaker's triangle is that you move your body, right, movement, across the stage or whatever you are giving this presentation, and you do so purposefully. And so you change positions as you make each point in your speech or your presentation. So in a classical speech presentation, positions in your public space here serve to guide both you as the speaker and the audience through the transitions in your speech or your presentation. So the triangle indicates where you would start in the introduction. That would be number 1, right? So if you're just visualizing a triangle, so one of the 3 points is your starting point. Then as you are making a transition to the first point from your introduction, you move to the second point. And then you return to the original position to make a third point, etc. So you're moving once when you are transitioning. So you make one point in one space, you move to the second space, you make another point, you move to the third space, you make another point, you move back home, right? This movement technique is pretty effective for you, firstly, so you remember your points because you're moving when you're transitioning between points. And also it allows the audience to follow you and for you to break down your speech into manageable parts. You can even put tape on the floor for you to remember your movements. So this is the speaker's triangle. We can also use gestures when we do public speaking. And if we have deliberate movements, such as raising your hands at a different or at a specific point in the speech, maybe at the beginning, and then bringing them down at the closure, If we're using gestures, we can emphasize our points more purposefully. We can also use our face with facial gestures, including eye contact, nodding, etc. Here in the United States, eye contact is expected. It is expected that I, as a speaker, look at my audience and make eye contact and look across the entire audience. I use nodding. I use my hands. We also use facial expressions, facial expressions to express emotions. We smile, we open our eyes, we raise our eyebrows. So in summary, we can use movement strategically in our presentations. It is important that we keep it natural and that we can consider we can consider using the speaker's triangle, which is a three-step sequence. We also use facial gestures and eye contact for movement in presentations. See you next time. Take care.